Hey everybody, it's Jim from Jim's Holiest Coleus, and as we're getting marching towards spring, um, those of you in New Jersey or the East Coast, um, you'll notice that the days are getting longer. Not exclusively the East Coast, but as our winters uh, start to get shorter and the days get longer, we get more sunlight, and the your overwintered pots of coleus start to come out of their dormancy. You start getting new growth, and you'll start seeing some more of that vibrant color coming back. And this is basically from this is your coleus reacting to light, to sunlight. As you can see, there's some smaller new growth coming in. I trimmed this. It still needs to be trimmed a little bit, but I'm giving it a wide berth. We're letting it go all out. But I'm going to trim some of these. Here's your dormant, older foliage, and there's some new, vibrant foliage. And again, they do, it starts to get leggy, so you do want to trim it, and that'll promote all this undergrowth coming in, all that new growth coming in. Again, here's another. Now this is about 2 years old. This pot. There's a nice little table arrangement of a variety of Kongs. These are such beautiful colors, and I just gave each of them a shot of a time release fertilizer. You don't really have to fertilize over the winter, crazy. I use the time release fertilizer, the pellets. Just to shake a few. You see there's a small little. I don't want to throw this out. We'll see how it comes back. I trimmed it down completely, but you see the little time release fertilizer pellets, and they're really great for coleus. But during winter, overwintering, you don't really need to fertilize much. Just make sure you give it as much light as possible. That's probably the best advice I can give anybody who wants to overwinter your coleus. If you're in a zone that has frost and winters, that's my best advice. You want to mimic the conditions of a greenhouse as much as you can. So you want to use the brightest window that gets the most sunlight. So, and you can see they're starting to really react, starting to really come back in. So before we know it, March will be here, right around the corner, in April, and there. So let's go over now to our germinations. There you can see they're really starting to come in. Now again, I planted these around Christmas, and you got some various stages, and there's a few a few of the pods, if you've been following me, a few of the pods that didn't germinate. I had some immature seeds, so I seeded these about a month ago, and so they're coming in. Same here. So you have, but for my purposes, for having so many coleus, sometimes it's good to stagger the, when you're planting this many. It's just only me. I don't have a staff of people helping me to do this. So I try to spread it out a little bit so I don't go crazy. So I don't have everything getting ready to separate at once. There's only so many hours of the day I have. But you'll see. Look at that. You got your growth coming in. I mean, you got your colors. It's really neat. And as this plant develops, this germination develops, I'll just follow it along and see. You have your little dabs of color coming in. Now I have these open. I moved this rack in. Here's my bay window. I moved this rack in from my greenhouse, and every day I can, I make sure I bring these out from. I have the LED light, but there's nothing like a good shot of natural sunlight. So I open these trays up, air them out. I checked each of the pods if they feel dry. That's a little dry, so I have a little squirt gun here. You get these at the dollar store, and I pump it a little bit, and I get a very, very gentle stream of water. And you don't want to spray it directly on your germinations. You want to spray, just give it a little shot Just a little shot. As needed. And as I said in a lot of my other videos, when you have a large tray like this, generally the ones around the edges dry out sooner. But if these are on a rack like they were today with the sun on them for a few hours, I turn them around, they're going to dry out a little, so I'm really careful to make sure that they have water. But these pods retain a lot of moisture, so they're good. I could tell just by looking at them, but I did give a little water. You do not want to water you don't want to get your foliage wet, especially at night, and then cover it and have these sitting in the have damp foliage, because it leads to problems. Coleus don't like to have water on them, even as they get older. You want to try as best you can to water the soil rather than the plant. These aren't ferns where you have to mist the foliage. Just keep that in mind. But you can see they're all coming in. And again, these are still too small for me to separate. I'm still going to wait another month or so. I found these at the dollar store. I love these. The minute I seen them at the store, I grabbed them up. I didn't take the whole stock out of the store. I figured let other people enjoy them. So I took enough. I have so many. I have hundreds and hundreds of different types of pots. But these, when I see these, I grab them up, and I'll make, 8, 10 a season. I'll make, 8 or 10s a season. That's what this is. This is a leftover from 2 years ago. This is orange. For some reason, people didn't grab it up. So if you look at some of my other videos, I have a beautiful blue arrangement of Kongs that I keep on my patio. So I keep some of them for myself, obviously. So, and here's another little extra tray. I seeded these a couple of weeks ago. I had some extra pods. I'm like, why not? So these didn't come in. There's some immature, for some reason the seeds didn't take. So I'll after I'm done with this video, I'll probably drop some new seeds in there. But you see, I got a bunch of new growth coming in, which is good. This will by the time these are ready, these will be well in their pots. And again, I do different stages, because once the plants start to mature and I have an idea of what plants I have, then I decide. That's when I decide, what am I going to use for the hanging baskets, or what type of, what's going to look best in that red pot or the yellow pot, based on the color of the coleus. When you're growing this many, and for my purposes, but it's really neat. You can start seeing the different colors. There's some with a little white coming up the center. That should be a Kong, I believe. So, and again, I believe these are the black stockings. There's just a handful. These aren't. These are actually other coleus, because I only got maybe 4 or 5 of the black stockings seeds to germinate. The rest of the seeds are just too immature. So that's that. But I did order. Those of you who follow me, that I've exchanged comments with, I recommend a place called Rosy Dawn Gardens. That's Rosy, R-O-S-Y, RosyDawnGardens.com. They're a exclusive coleus seller. They sell live cuttings in these neat tubes. They ship them to you, and they have hundreds of coleus. It's a really neat website if you want to go through and actually see the coleus plant, and you can actually buy them, order them. So I ordered 6 different variations that I've never had before, and you can choose your date when you want to get the plants, and they're neat. They come in almost like a paper towel cardboard tube, and the rooting is it's about 9 inches long, high, 6 to 9 inches, depends, and it has a root ball encapsulated in plastic that you just unwrap, and then you plant it, and you get a choice of when, April, May, late March, April and May, when you want the plants delivered. And again, when you do get them, you want to put them into a good quality potting soil, and you don't want to put them out right away. You want to get them in pots. You want them to get their roots, and this goes for all of your Coleus. When you decide to take these pods and put them into other pots and so forth, before you put them outside, you want to make sure that they get a nice established root ball. You want them established in a pot, and that's going to take a few weeks to get it, you know. I mean, and that's the hardening. So, you know, if you want to look, I have some videos on hardening your Coleus. That's very important if you want your Coleus, if you want to put them outside in pots. And it is the way to make sure that your Coleus will live outdoors. You can't put these tender new plants, and I'm not talking about this size, I'm talking about later on in 3 months when they're larger, but they're not ready for the outdoor elements. As a way to harden them. So but anyway, so I'm just going through all my plants here, and it looks like a lot, and it is, but I really enjoy, you know, in another I'm gonna say in another 8 weeks or so, I'm going to start to separate them into these smaller. Let me go over here. I have these. I buy these bulk. I have about 500 of them. They're small, soft containers, and I'll actually put them 1 or 2 in each pot. And that's when I grow them in there, and then by then I have all these racks will be filled with them, and then eventually they go out to my greenhouse, and then from there, as they grow and develop, that's when I design my hanging baskets and other pots. So that's June and July, usually June, May, June, with the hanging baskets and pots. So, all right, so I hope everyone's following along, is doing just as well. Any questions, just post them on the comments below. I'll always answer as soon as I can. I missed a few. Sorry if you have in the past you've asked me a question and I didn't catch it. I don't always get the notification. I try to go through all my videos. So if I haven't answered a question on an older video, if you see me post a new video like this one, just shoot the question out. It doesn't have to necessarily pertain to the video I'm making. But you have any kind of question, it's never a stupid question. You have any kind of question about how to take care of the Coleuses, or the greenhousing, how I built my greenhouse, anything like that, feel free to ask me. I'll absolutely send you, you know, help you out as much as I can. There's some nice color coming in. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that bright. There you go. That's I'm pretty sure that's a Kong. See that beautiful, bright? That's going to be a beautiful plant. So I'm gonna partially cover these up with the covers and put them back in the greenhouse, in the indoor greenhouse, and I'll put the plastic down on the greenhouse to keep them nice and warm. You want to make sure that these are, you know, close to 70. You know, you're in your indoor close to 70. I'm lucky here. This is a perfect spot between the LED grow light and it's being surrounded by the baseboard heat. It gets nice and toasty in there. They love that. Coleus love the heat. Remember, these are tropical plants, so they like tropical. You want to mimic the tropics. So, all right, thanks for following along, and good luck on for everybody following along. Good luck, and we'll be posting a new video in a few weeks. Take care, everybody. Thanks for following.